What's going on, YouTube? Sorry for the delays today. Today is going to be a little bit of a departure from what we did the past couple days. Today we're going to start a painting, and I'm going to continue to develop it in order to make a pre-recorded video for you in the next couple days. So I will not be switching camera angles. This is going to be just one shot. So I will be recording this process on my computer. So let me go ahead and get started with that. So this is just footage that you're gonna get to watch live, and it's gonna be available on YouTube for people to watch at their own leisure. But this painting you will see later on in a pre-recorded video format. So let me go ahead and start recording. So I'm recording this now. A little bit of an experiment. I don't know how it's actually going to work. I'm recording and I'm live on YouTube at the same time. So this is going to be kind of interesting. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and apply a tone on the surface. This is a not a 9 by 12 inch, excuse me. This is an 11 by 14 inch panel that has been toned with acrylic paint ahead of time. So the tone is a neutral gray acrylic. Hey Vivian, my paints are going from white all the way to from top left to bottom right is titanium white, lemon yellow, Windsor yellow, raw sienna, and the reddish brown is burnt sienna, cadmium red light. That's the only one that's going to be a different brand, and pretty much all of them are going to be either Winsor Newton or Gamblin or some kind of cheap knockoff. But the red is a Williamsburg cadmium red light. It's actually called cadmium red vermilion, but it's pretty much cadmium red light. Okay, so I've got the whole surface prepared. This is a painting that I'm going to continue for the next the entire day, and then tomorrow as well. So I'll be working on this for 2 days, and then you're going to see a short pre-recorded video of the finished result on Saturday. That's why there's not any camera changes, because I need to use this footage in order to do that. So now that I've got the surface covered with raw umber, now I'm going to go ahead and draw. So what I'm going to do is use the same brush and go ahead and place the top of the head. This is going to be your typical portrait painting tutorial that you see me upload on Saturdays. I uploaded one today actually because I went on a plein air painting expedition, and I got rained out. So that's why I came back here to start this painting. It's a very smooth surface. Like I said, this is a wooden panel, and it's perfect for really refined finishes, or really smooth finishes. I will have a step-by-step version of this for my students on Patreon. There won't be a photo reference in the screen here, again, because even though references may say copyright free, they aren't actually always going to be copyright free from what I have dealt with recently. So this is going to be the back of the head. So this entire video is going to be one shot. No breaks, no cuts in between. And again, I apologize for those of you that were here earlier at the usual time of the stream. So I did mention earlier that, or yesterday, that I was gonna go do plein air today. So that's why I uploaded actually uploaded a watercolor tutorial video. Of course, this one will be oil paint. Eye socket area there. Back side of the head is gonna be somewhat over there. So that's about good enough for me to start adding some color. Now this is gonna be a very different look to this painting. There's actually going to be a, you guessed it, sunlight effect. So quickly I'm going to block in the sky color. And I'm also, again, I'm trying to figure out where to place everything. So I'm guessing that's about good. I might push the face a little bit to the left. Yeah, something about like right there. This is an off-brand wooden panel, so it's not the most expensive of surfaces for me to paint on. It was from Michaels. It's the brand titled Artist Loft, which a lot of you that buy the cheaper stuff like me are familiar with. So there's the sky. Let's see the back side of the head. So I initially wasn't going to live stream this. I was just going to record it and you know, do what I usually do, have the footage edited for you to watch. But I decided if I'm going to be painting anyway, I might as well just live stream the process. It's going to be kind of a yellowish, orangey hue over there. Hey Celeste. Yeah, no, you're not late. I just started. I got rained out. The weather didn't call for rain, but it rained. It rained enough for me to not do my plein air painting. So I drove about almost an hour to set up, and I got rained out. That's what I get for trying to leave the city. But that is what it is. I'm here. We're only an hour late, so we'll still continue to paint. And to confirm my schedule tomorrow, I do have a doctor's appointment. I finally figured out my login. The doctor's appointment is at 3, so I'll be painting earlier in the day so that I can make the doctor's appointment. So that's why I deleted the stream for tomorrow, because I'll be doing this. I'll be continuing this painting tomorrow morning. So I apologize for yet again the inconsistency, but I didn't expect to get rained out. And the doctor's appointment was scheduled actually before I even started the series. It was scheduled about 2 months ago, I think. so I can't miss that. So the hair is gonna fit somewhere over here. Oh, I know. Thanks. I know. I hope I have better luck next time. I woke up early. I finished my pre-recorded video. I actually voiced it over today because I didn't have the voiceover part for that watercolor video. Then I get to the location, and as soon as I'm starting to approach the parking lot, it starts raining. And I try to wait it out, but yeah, it didn't work. Did not work. Tomorrow, I think you're asking about when I'm going to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm thinking I'll stream around 10 a.m. DC time or 11 a.m. DC time. It's going to be very improv. It's going to be this exact painting that you see me working on right now. So whenever I upload a random pre-recorded in the middle of the week, anytime I upload a pre-recorded that's not on a Saturday, it means that I can't be there the usual time for the live stream. But of course I made it here today because I still wanted to paint despite the the issues with the weather. The shadow is going to be kind of a warm brown. So that's about good. I'll use this same process for a painting that I'm going to continue for a long time, or a painting that I'm going to do and finish the same day. Just so happens that I will be continuing this more than one day. And on Patreon, I'm going to upload a progressive step-by-step post for this painting, and I'm going to be experimenting with that idea for doing that with the rest of the pre-recordeds, in addition to the projects I already have on Patreon. I apologize to anybody that's watching this after the fact and was like, where did you go? What happened? Yeah, I had been rained out. Okay, so now I'm gonna paint something for the light. This painting will have a little more of a realistic tone to it than the other ones. That's because I'll be using it for that style of video, the portrait painting tutorial style. These days it's not much of my cup of tea. I'd much rather do that live stream format all the time, but my analytics on YouTube say that I really should have more pre-recordeds. So again, if you're wondering what's going on, this is pretty much just an improv painting session where I am filming the process in real time for a video that you're going to see edited. It's going to be about 15 minutes long, not much longer than that, on Saturday. So by this time already, the painting would have been finished. On the vertical side, it's just alizarin, raw umber, sap green. This is a cadmium green, black, ivory black, and phthalo blue. This is a bigger face. It's actually a bigger painting than the ones that I'm doing in that live stream series, because it's going to be more of a realistic finish, and it's easier to paint realistic if you paint bigger. It's just easier. There's some sunlight this side of the face. You can see how nice and smooth this canvas or this panel is, but I don't like them being this smooth for my usual paintings. So this makes the process a tad bit more difficult, but the reason I chose it for this this painting is because we're gonna make this more realistic. So to have it be more realistic, bigger is a little bit better. Uncle Earl, I haven't seen you in a while. I don't know what happened to the notifications. I've been posting. We've been streaming nearly 5 days a week at 1:30 DC time zone. I don't know why it's not notifying you though. Today just happens to be the one time where I upload a pre-recorded before doing a live stream, and this live stream isn't even part of that series of paintings. That series of paintings that I'm talking about is Monday through Friday, 1:30 p.m. DC time zone. Now, I did mention that I'm gonna do a plein air painting trip at least once a month. So once or twice a month, you're gonna get a pre-recorded instead, which is what I did today. So I apologize for the confusion, but I have no clue why YouTube didn't send you a notification. I don't know why it didn't do that. Like I said, I'm not very popular on YouTube anymore. These live streams aren't very popular. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because I'm recording it for a video on Saturday. Sunday will be off, but you'll get videos Monday through Friday and Saturday. But it's great to see you here, Uncle Earl. It's been a while. So let me know if you appreciate this random stream. I know it wasn't expected. In fact, some of you that are usually here right now aren't here because I uploaded the pre-recorded. So this is a random one. And I'm sorry if it messes anyone up. The weather definitely didn't call for rain, but that's what happens. That's why I didn't stay at my little plein air spot. Oh good, I'm glad you appreciate it, Celeste. You know, I like spending time with all of you, and I know that sounds kind of weird because I'm over here doing a live stream, but you gotta understand, I don't have a community of artists that I can work with here in Northern Virginia. Everything is basically short poses and classes. Nothing long, no long poses. So me being able to do these streams is a way that I can, you know, still be part of an art community. Oh, thank you for the Celeste, the super chat, Celeste. Yeah, sorry, I can't change camera because I'm recording this. Of course, I'm gonna edit anyway, so in theory I could switch camera, but I don't want to mess with my streaming software. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Celeste. That means a lot to me. I'm glad you're happy to be my community. I wish YouTube had an audio version or something where I can hear you, or you could, yeah, where I could hear you. I know you can hear me, but that would be kind of neat. Something I didn't mention last week in this, I did the demo, the portrait painting tutorial. I did that using this same type of panel. One thing I didn't mention is because it's so smooth, it lifts really easily, which is kind of a pain. So you can't put too much pressure on the brush. Now you won't interrupt the flow. Trust me, you won't. I have a lot less pressure on this painting right now because I know I'm going to continue it. So no, you're not interrupting anything. Not interrupting anything. Oh, you mean the audio? Well, I would have you on my headphones, so I wouldn't distract from the stream. And look how smooth that surface is, though. We are going to create a very realistic painting with this, using the same exact methods that I do in the Monday through Friday live streams. I wish I could paint on this smooth of a surface all the time, but it's too expensive for me to paint Monday through Friday on one of these. That's why I'm saving it for the pre-recordeds. And frankly, the pre-recordeds, the short videos end up doing, they have a tendency to do better in terms of outreach on YouTube than the live streams. So chances are, when I do create the short version of this painting, chances are this live stream will end up being long forgotten. And it'd be hilarious if it was the reverse. That'd be pretty hilarious. Clavicle, suprasternal notch. We can already see the light effect starting to be a thing. Model's chest. Such a nice smooth canvas. By canvas I mean panel. It is a panel. Artist loft panel, very smooth. You know, the funny thing about the pre-recorded that I uploaded on Saturday, it already got more views than my live streams. That the 15-minute pre-recorded on Saturday got more views already than my live streams that I've been doing for 3.5 hours. And that painting took me only an hour and a half to create. But of course I edited, I time-lapsed it into 15 minutes. Kind of funny. So in case anyone here is new to the channel and you haven't been commenting anything out of any kind of like fear about distracting me or anything like that, this is the time where, you know, that I'm not going to be finishing this today. You know, this is the most improv painting session of all this week. So if there's something you've been wanting to ask me, now's the time. But of course you can always ask me anything you want that's, of course, YouTube appropriate. I really like how smooth that surface is. I'm gonna have to switch to the watercolor brushes eventually, just because the bristles actually end up shoveling the paint around. Your painter brush. You know, the funny thing about this stream, here's something interesting. I posted, or I scheduled this stream for 1:30 today, but because I've been live streaming so frequently, I took the day to go plein air painting and I got rained out. So technically, this stream was already posted far ahead of time with a different title. It was posted almost a week ago, or maybe not. I think it was posted on Sunday. Today's a Thursday. I don't know why anyone's not getting notifications, because this was posted prior to today, but with a different title, but the same stream. So in theory, that shouldn't have affected anything. I don't know. I don't know why YouTube's not notifying you. It's very difficult for me because YouTube is just really. I'm really struggling to keep my YouTube channel alive. And if it were not for the help from the super chats from certain people on these Monday through Friday live streams that I'm doing, I would be in deep trouble. I already am in deep trouble, but it'd be even worse. But I don't know why it's not notifying everyone. And something else that's kind of interesting, the more I do watercolor or acrylic, any of those non-oil painting mediums, it does so bad on my YouTube. And I finally figured out, a layering process that works pretty well with watercolor. And I just shared that video today. But hey, I'm happy to have you all here. I'm a firm believer in, do what you love, do it the best that you can, and things will, find a way to work out. I'm doing, the best I can. This is what I love to do, painting. So, we'll make it work. So if you haven't seen it already, check out the watercolor portrait painting tutorial that I uploaded this morning, because I thought I was going to be away the whole day, and I wasn't. I got rained out of my plein air. Love as a motivation. That is true. It's what I love to do. Oh, thanks, Celeste. I like starting the eyes like this in pre-recorded videos. I don't really like doing this in live streams, but I start eyes this way in pre-recorded videos because it kind of makes me laugh. Like they look like the model's got superpowers or something like that, or she's possessed or something like that. It's kind of funny what eyes look like when you don't have all the information in them. I'm only doing this right now because I know that this is this painting is going to be turned into a different video. I did this last week as well when I started the eyes on that pre-recorded, but because it was time-lapsed, it only lasted about like 5 seconds at the most. Yeah, a zombie. It's a zombie. And just like that, the viewer count is gonna drop to only two of you. But yeah, it's quite hilarious to start the eyes this way. Hey Gigi. Oh, thank you for watching that video. I noticed you were the only one here that was waiting for me, and I'm sorry. I meant to post on the community section that I was gonna be away plein air painting, and then I got rained out, so I came back and was gonna start filming this video for Saturday, and I decided to just turn it into the live stream because I already had the link. I had already created the link for this live stream on Sunday, so. But yes, you can start the eyes like this in zombie mode, and just like I predicted, the view count dropped. the viewer count dropped, just like I predicted. That's pretty funny. A little more light on that side of the sclera. I can have a little more of an angle for the eyes. And I'm going to do that now while the paint is still really loose. It'll stiffen up after a couple hours. But I'll still be able to work on it tomorrow because it's going to take forever to dry. Zombie. It's a zombie. It's a zombie. It's a walker. It's a walker. Yeah, and because I'm recording this for Saturday, I can't change camera angles because this is going to be one shot basically. It'll be time lapsed into not even like, I don't even think it'll be 5 minutes long. Today's session. You know, and it just so happens that happens to be what people watch the most. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Yes, the safflower oil will keep the painting from drying too fast. Correct. Yeah, and I do want the paint to dry slower, by the way. I don't need... I shouldn't say I don't need, but I don't want to have to need more than one layer. That is, I don't want to have to paint wet into dry in order to produce something, you know, realistic enough that people will watch it on YouTube. I just need to paint faster, paint better, basically, just to survive here on the internet. It's a tough place to be as an artist, but we'll make it work. Look how nice and smooth that is, though. Yet they consume content like nothing. I don't know, what is that in context to? I must have missed something. I think you mean like I don't know, the reason why only the 15-minute long videos does better. I have no clue. Other than attention span is all I can think of. But you know, I like watching short videos too. Typically I like watching videos of cats. I mean, call me old school, but just funny videos of cats online. The ooh ee ah ah cat, whatever, it makes me laugh so much. And before that, I was a Grumpy Cat fan. I still am Grumpy Cat fan. Rest in peace, Tartar Sauce. Now you see how the paint is lifting here? That's okay, though. That's okay. Oh, thanks, Gigi. I am under enormous stress. Like, I'm trying not to stress over it so much, but, you know, gotta survive somehow. And I want to keep painting. So yeah, we're gonna aim to make this kind of like a Nelson Shanks type painting. Now it's cropped right on her clavicle, so there's no possibility, at least hopefully, there's no possibility of YouTube saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" I think we'll be fine. I mean, YouTube doesn't even notify you apparently of when I go live, so hopefully they won't bother us showing a clavicle. Thanks, Gigi. Yeah, Celeste, definitely. The ooh ee ah ee cat. And then Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is the original, at least to me. Here, funny question for those of you that are here. What do you want me to focus on or title the video for Saturday? That's going to involve this painting. It's obviously going to be 15 minutes, not much longer than that. What do you want me to title that video, and what do you want me to talk about in that video? And of course, it's a redundant question because whatever you want me to talk about, I can talk about here. But what would you want me to talk about? I'm so out of ideas of what to title the videos. Even last week, that title wasn't even my own idea. Top 5 things you need to know. I hate titles like that, but it's an attempt to get people to watch. What do you want me to talk about? Oh, yeah, definitely check out Grumpy Cats. A bunch of memes from the early 2000s. What do you want me to title that painting? The 15-minute edited painting video for this one, for this face. What do you think people would want to watch or listen to? Classical realist portrait. I guess I could. Yeah, I could title it Classical Realist Portrait. Although, a lot of people will be wondering, Classical Realist Portrait, where's the underpainting? But we could title it anything you want, as long as it's not a copyrighted title. We could do Classical Realist Portrait. Here's the funny thing, though, about Classical Realist Portraits. You really don't need an underpainting. The underpainting is only useful for certain things, but mainly for beginners. That's where the underpainting is going to be the most useful. But you still got painters that have been painting for longer than I've been alive that still use underpaintings. Combination of classical realism with impressionistic color. That's true. We could do something like that. Classical realism with impressionist color. There definitely will be a lot of impressionist color in here. As you see, this is a blue. This is dual lighting. Pretty soon we're gonna switch into those watercolor brushes. Alla Prima portrait with high key color. I'm glad you like the layering of color. I guess that might be kind of unique to me. I don't know. definitely, if you haven't checked out Nelson Shanks, check out Nelson Shanks and you'll see where this comes from. And even before Nelson Shanks, his teacher, Henry Henchy, his use of color, but of course he didn't do realist stuff. There's only going to be so much that I can do with these bristle brushes. I will eventually switch to the watercolor brushes. You like the word luminosity? How to achieve luminous color in a portrait? Could do something like that. How to achieve luminous color in the portrait. Oh, and the big thing is going to have to be the thumbnail. The thumbnail is going to have to be huge. I'm basically going to work as hard as I can in order to have that realistic thumbnail that will entice people to watch the video. Okay, now we can start switching to the cheap watercolor brushes. And these brushes are no more than $1. They're quite cheap. And I even recommended some watercolor brushes in that watercolor painting. Title it, you gotta check this out. Alright. I wonder how many paintings on YouTube are titled, you gotta check this out. Oh, the funniest paintings, or not paintings, videos on YouTube, or the funniest titles are, I did a thing. I've seen those. I never clicked on them, but I have seen titles that say, I did a thing. Probably some really rich YouTuber bought a Lamborghini just to put it in some kind of garbage disposal. Now this is the cheap brush. That tone in the beginning was really important. That dry neutral gray acrylic. I could have even went darker with that gray, to be honest. Yeah, we need more marketing people. Bringing luminosity to your painting. Lamborghini in a trash disposal. I've seen, yeah, I saw a thumbnail for that. Found object sculpture. I mean, I have seen stuff like that. Um, in Maryland Institute College of Art called MICA. Uh, when I was when I went to art college for like only a year before I left to join Incominati in Philadelphia. But I kid you not, some of the MFA work there, it looked like, and I know I can say this because I don't have a big following anymore, so I don't think anyone's even gonna listen to this from Micah. But yeah, there were some MFA um, exhibits. I can't. There's one I will never forget, and I'm assuming that's the reason why it is such a so-called work of art. I mean, it is in a strange way, but it was a jug of milk that was illuminated. There was all these lights around a jug of milk in a room. I don't even know what it was titled, but it was a jug of milk. I never forgot that. And I just thought to myself, how clever do you have to be to get away with an MFA project, Masters of Fine Arts project, where you bring a jug of milk and you illuminate it with a bunch of lights. I mean, what? Yeah, that was a thing. And yeah, there's some things about art I'm just never going to understand. Even Banksy, I'm never really going to understand fully. The whole purpose of having some painting that's self-destructed. I get the political statements or whatever that Banksy, which I think Banksy is a group. I don't think it's one person, but man. And again, nobody from Maryland Institute's gonna watch this, so I doubt anyone's gonna say anything. Then again, I didn't say anything negative about the milk jug. I was just surprised more than anything. And we had a class called Art Matters where you would create whatever you wanted to, and we all had to sit around and talk about it. Hey, Hansel Dog. This class was called Art Matters, where you just had to sit around and talk about whatever someone created. And somebody turned in a circle on a piece of paper that was outlined. So it was a sheet of paper, printer paper, and the person outlined a coffee cup, I think that's what it was, with a Sharpie. And people sat around and were talking about it for like, I want to say like 30 minutes or something like that, coming up with all these like wild ideas about this circle. And I just I mean, I was like, this is cool and all, it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I make myself laugh. It was. He wrote, "It really was a profound jug of milk and some light." Is what I see at 3 in the morning when I open the refrigerator and see milk in the light of the refrigerator. I mean, that was. I'll never forget that. Notice I'm not saying anything bad about it. Like, it's just. It was shocking. And I guess that shock value is what they were going for. I'm pretty sure there was an exhibit of a cup of tea. There had to have been. There had to have been. The pressure you put on the brush is kind of important here. Oh, right, the Campbell's Soup series. Andy Warhol. Out of all of art history, Marcel Duchamp was the worst, I would say. Because he literally wanted to destroy art. Like the concept of fine art. Out of all of them, Marcel Duchamp is the worst. And I hate to even bring his name up, but because I don't even want people to know who he was. But that guy was the worst. The worst of the worst. Doesn't get any worse than that. I don't think. I mean, it might have. I mean, even Mark Rothko, like, okay, sure, okay. I mean, minimalist paintings with just like a couple colors and some lines. And you got people sitting in front of Marcel Duchamp paintings and they're like crying over it. Like, okay, at least you're not doing something negative. But Marcel Duchamp was the worst. The worst. Yeah, totally proving art is subjective. I mean, art these days is whatever is going to get the most likes, the most views on Instagram. And some people will post provocative pictures of themselves or the models that they're painting or something like that and get tons of likes and views and stuff like that. Because even today, art is different than it was just 10 years ago. But it's just the way that it's marketed is such a I will say it's kind of baloney, and I can say that because it's not that negative. It's just baloney. It's a baloney sandwich. And yet you've got such crap out there, like really bad stuff, painting wise, that gets so much attention. And but there's some good stuff out there that does get attention, like like Bob Ross. Like, So he wasn't like a classical painter. He wasn't putting forth like realistic stuff with careful drawing, but his technique was excellent. His paint handling was excellent. So there's a lot of, I'd say, paint handling mastery in that. But that's the problem of it all, is this how subjective it is. And even this realistic painting business, like I said, it's not my cup of tea, but I can do it, and I'll do it because I know that that's what people will watch in the pre-recorded. Oh, the blank, is that the blank canvas or the one with the dot? I think I know which one you're talking about. Though I don't know the name that you wrote out of the top of my head. But I would argue that art is not any more subjective than anything that someone is willing to pay for. And unfortunately, it affects people like me that really put in the time to create something, with as much skill as possible. And then you have somebody selling a turkey for thousands of dollars. Of course, I don't mean a real turkey, but just think about it metaphorically. Really smooth canvas. By canvas, I mean wooden panel. Super smooth. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, like the negative connotation to art. Like you can almost any kind of any movie or TV show doesn't portray it very well. Zombie apocalypse. I could title it that. Although all the time I'm gonna spend on this to title it Zombie Apocalypse. I don't know. That is a good question though. How much time will I spend on this? In the end of the day, does it even matter? It'll matter if the video that I'm recording to feature this will be popular or not. I don't know. I don't know. Death's there. Oh yeah, the mouth will be changed. The expression will change over time. Love in color and light. That might be interpreted differently though by the YouTube thing. I think. I don't know. Dang it! I should have got a fan brush. I'll probably go to the store later today when Lucy gets off work to go get a fan brush. These paintings you kind of need a fan brush for them. Yeah, no, YouTube, right? Uh, no, I didn't actually. I was gonna paint over another painting today, but not from the series, just an older one. But no. I gotta go to the store today anyway. I gotta get some canvases. But this is the only painting I'll be working on for the next 2 days. Though it would be a good idea to go get some more canvases to be ready for next week. It's always a good idea to be prepared. Hey Hardik Gupta, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's mix up some more color with the bristles. I need some skin tones. That should be good. Yeah, I need to write a list. I need a fan brush and some canvases. Fan brush and canvases. I mean, I contemplated just buying them in bulk from Amazon, just buying like 50 of them. Hey, Jonas. No, I don't really replace my brushes that often. I mean, this is a cheap, just a really cheap brush. This is a cheap watercolor brush. These I may have to replace often, but my main brush is the bristles, not really. Now the form around the eye socket is going to be kind of a challenge. The paint is lifting a little bit, despite this being a really soft watercolor brush. So let's see how that watercolor video from this morning did. Probably not too well. It is almost 10 out of the last, the least popular upload. That's great. Second least popular upload of mine. I'll try not to let it get me down, but it is tough to not be. Yeah, we'll give it time. Oh, I think is that the one from last week? I don't remember. Thanks, Celeste. I'm trying. Like I said, this is dual lighting. So we've got light in the shadow, and we have this rim light on the edge. This rim light. So kind of complicated. Lucy chose this reference yesterday. I think she wanted me to suffer. I asked her, choose whatever reference you think people would be as the most interested in for the Saturday pre-recorded. Of course, she chose a dual lighting. Thanks, Jonas. Oh, I forgot something. I did forget something. So tomorrow, I actually don't think I can do the stream early. Like I said, I've got a doctor's appointment at 3, but I forgot my side job, the dog walking thing. I forgot they want me to do that on Fridays. It's nothing special, just walking my mother-in-law's dog, but dang it. I forgot. She wanted me to walk the dog tomorrow. Okay, so I don't think I'll actually be able to post tomorrow. At least early in the day. Maybe we'll just do an evening stream. Lucy's got a pool league at 7. Maybe we'll do an evening stream. Dang, I can't believe I forgot that. So, scratch that morning live stream idea. We'll be continuing to work on this potentially in the evening, as Lucy has a pool league tomorrow evening. I'm not playing pool because I have problems with my feet. That's why I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. Dang, I can't believe I forgot that. Yep, it'd have to be evening. So sorry about that, Mark. I know that it's later for you in London. Dang, I can't believe I forgot that. That's kind of sad. No, I can't play pool. Not gonna leave you all for pool. The only reason I still have the membership to the academy is I really like the people there. And I have paintings hanging there. But no, I won't be playing pool. I don't even think I can play pool anymore, to be honest. They are my community, yeah, kind of. But, I don't really see them often anymore. No, I haven't tried to do anything really to my feet, but no, today was the plein air. I was gonna go do plein air painting, but I got rained out. The weather wasn't even calling for rain. got rained out. You had a snow slush mixture. Oh, wow. Today it was supposed to be overcast and 80 degrees. Instead, it was about 75 degrees and rain. Although I'm sure the rain stopped already, but it had already kind of muddied up the where I was gonna go paint. I didn't want to go anywhere else because I didn't want to do much walking. Wow, snow in Maine. I guess I could imagine that though, up north. Sorry about all of you in Canada. The US is kind of a mess right now. I wish Facebook didn't always give me the news. I'm just moving the mouth up a little bit, and possibly have to move the chin. Let's first put in a little middle tone with this greenish color. Greenish color. Oh, it wouldn't be all mud. Although remember, this is all colored mud. Technically, oil paint is colored mud. Pigment with linseed oil. An inch of rain for every turns into a foot of snow. Oh wow. Well, I'd say with the color, really, it's just about making sure that greens and reds don't um, cover one another completely. And I don't really have too many purples in here, so don't have to worry about purple and yellow. Or, I mean, purple and orange. Name it Pretty in Pink. Possibility. Knowing how to work with the grays and the brown tones are kind of useful, because there is a place for grays and browns, neutral tones. Too young for. I don't know who that is. Molly Ringwald. Molly Ringwald. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is. A little bit more depth for the eye. Minus the details. There's no real need for the details right now. The time of Breakfast Club. It was in the 70s. No, I didn't see that one. It's kind of funny. The millennials were upset. The rest of my fellow millennials were upset when that 90s show came out. Because to us, it basically is what that 70s show was when we were kids. But my fellow millennials don't want to accept the fact that we are the new 70s generation relative to when we were kids. A little bit more form. Still no intense detail yet. And we're going to have to move the chin up. We're going to have to do a chin up. Yeah, I was 91. Yeah, that 90s show didn't last long. Might have raised the chin too much or just enough. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Celeste. Yeah, you can still see that 90s show, I think, but I heard it didn't do well. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. Especially for this improv stream. And again, if this is too long for anyone, there's going to be a pre-recorded featuring this very same painting. Though if you're still watching this at this point, I don't think it's too long for you. But yeah, this is how I work on longer paintings. I could spend an entire month on this if I wanted to. But I want to get to the point where I don't have to. I'm glad you like the reflective orange. Oh, don't worry about it, Celeste, about how much time it takes you. I would say as long as you're, in a position where you enjoy what you're painting and you have a consistent paint schedule, you'll be okay. Did Sargent say that? I don't know. Someone said paint, or it sounds like Picasso would have said something like that. Paintings are never done, just forgotten. Sounds like something Picasso would have said. No, trust me, I feel like I could be more consistent also. Da Vinci is the one that said art is never finished, only abandoned. Or a quote from a French poet. No words, no clue how to pronounce that. A poem is never finished, only abandoned. AI answer from Google. Oh man, thanks to the AIs. Oh hey, Rabuyo. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I use Unsplash and Pexels for my references, but I do alter them quite a bit because even though they say copyright free, doesn't mean they're always copyright free. But I'm not going to say specifically which one has given me problems about that in the past. But yeah, either Unsplash or Pexels. Typically, I would much prefer to paint people I know, but yeah, I'm not really in a position to photograph people outside in these light conditions. It would be great if I could, but kind of difficult. Well, thanks for the question. Yeah, and you can ask feel free to ask any questions, everybody. This is very chill. Even the usual live streams, which are 1:30 to 5 p.m. DC time zone, even those are pretty laid back. Even though I paint faster during those streams than I'm doing here, you can always ask any questions you want. Again, this is filming for a pre-recorded video that will be uploaded on Saturday. I'm a little behind. I should have started it earlier in the week. Yeah, I definitely don't pronounce things correctly most of the time. Half an hour on the preliminary drawing before painting. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't. I don't spend that much time anymore on the preliminary drawings. Yeah, I just go for it these days. That is correct. I do just go for it. And I attribute a lot of it to the paint handling. The fact that I am able to avoid using mineral spirits altogether. I don't use any mineral spirits. It has increasingly exponentiated the time it takes for me to paint something, for sure. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like the longer format. I prefer this longer format. You know, that way I don't have to edit. But um, they just don't do that well, unfortunately. Of course, I still want there to be a blue down here. Keep that blue there, but it's a darker blue. If I post them, they will. I mean, I'm trying. I'm trying. By the way, this is zoomed into the painting so that it fits with this palette. But the painting itself is bigger. There's a whole, I don't know, like 2 inches above the canvas. Little planes of light for the hair. think we're about at what, 2 hours now? I haven't taken a break. I don't think I can. Again, because this is recording. Is it? I hope it is. Yeah, we're at 2 hours. 2 hours, it's recording still. I just checked. So we still got the recording going on. Starting to tire out a little bit, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going because we only got 30 minutes now till Lucy gets off of work. And then we'll continue. I'll still keep painting. Probably tonight I'll paint a little longer because I need to start painting the details on the face. And then tomorrow for the stream, we may or may not work on this tomorrow. If I finish it tonight, then I'll just paint something else tomorrow. But you'll have the video for it on Saturday, so don't worry. I should get up and stretch. I am gonna fall apart. At least my feet don't hurt. I should get up and stretch. And I probably will. It's good to take have a little distance away from the painting. I could be painting some kind of huge mistake and not even noticing it. That's possible. Totally possible. So, okay. We'll do that then. We'll take a short little break. Here. I'm going to just mute the audio so I can go play with Hugo, my Shiba Inu. Let him run around a little bit in the living room. So usually I'll play a video for you, but because I'm recording this, I can't do that. So yeah. Let's do a little trivia for those of you that are still here. Trivia is going to be... This is going to be... What is the name of the fourth painting that I did in this series of the almost daily uploads? What is the name of the fourth painting that I did? Because I don't even remember it, to be honest. I don't remember. So have fun with that. I'll be back in a couple minutes. The audio is going to be silent. Alrighty, so Gigi got that one. I think classical still life of bread. So I took a shorter break than usual just because I don't have that much time left. So hey Janice, welcome, welcome. I actually opened the door, and it looks like there was more light. So I'm gonna leave that door open because the painting appears. I think it appears a little bit brighter with that. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue working on this. So the side plane of the nose is going to have a slightly, I want to say, bluer tone, but it's still going to have some red to it. Fresh eyes, you would think. You would think. Though I'm kind of happy with what we've done in 2 hours. Tad bit of blue. And it should get slightly darker. Yeah, to paint this in 2 hours, I think it's pretty good for me. Though I could have worked faster if this wasn't a ultra smooth panel. The ultra smooth panel takes me longer to paint than a canvas with a little bit of texture on it. That's because I have to be even more careful about how much pressure I put on the brush. Okay, so that's the blue. Now we're gonna add that reddish color. It glows. Oh, good, good. I'm glad it has that glow. Oh, thank you, Gigi. Though to be honest, it takes me a while to put the paints out anyway myself, because I clean the palette every night, and hopefully I continue to do that because I really like the feel of this palette and I don't want to mess it up. Though I have, I got links in the description for this palette if you want to buy the same palette I'm using. And there is a group in this area that does quick poses every Thursday. I think like at 6 or something like that. And they do have one long pose a month. But it's still, for me, it's really short. It's only about, it's just one sitting basically. When I work from life, I like to have multiple sittings on the same pose like I did when I was living in Maryland, but that might be a good place for me to try to at least, I don't know, get some pictures of models for these YouTube paintings. Yeah, gesture drawings, yeah. But I'm not going to go to the gesture drawings. I would rather go to a longer pose. I mean, I don't want to speak ill of gesture drawing because that's what I was taught to do in Caminati, the school in Philly, they started you off with gesture drawing, but I feel like it helps the portrait artist to have longer poses. Even in the beginning, even when you're just starting out, I think it helps to have longer poses. Okay, so that's a little more color for the nose. Yeah, it is a good way to warm up. You're correct. I would get some exercise, yes, but I can't stand for a long period of time. That's my problem because of my feet. Unfortunately. Yeah, I don't want to mention on YouTube what's wrong with my feet, but I can mention it like I don't know if we chat on Instagram or something. I don't want to mention it because it's kind of gross. It's something that my feet developed at the gym. It's really annoying. And something that takes months for people to heal. Or years. It's kind of super annoying. Needless to say, I won't be going to gyms anymore. I'll probably gain another 30 pounds. Who knows? I'll try not to, though. Oh, painting from life exercise. Yeah, definitely. You have an underdesk bicycle. What? Man, I wish I had that. Because at least, you know, at least you'd be able to use your the front of your feet. That's cool. All right, so we've got about 8 minutes now till Lucy gets off work. Oh, thanks, Celeste. I'll look it up. The problem that I have with my feet is on my heels. So, yeah, I've got both my heels are messed up. But I can still use the front of my feet. Yeah, I can wiggle my toes. I really like the setup that I have here. And I like the painting. I kind of don't want to put more stuff in it, but I have to in order for people to watch it as a whatchamacallit, a pre-recorded video upload. You know, in order for me to keep up with the other YouTube artists that do all that super realistic stuff. I can do it, I just don't really fancy it as an aesthetic. But basically all it is, the super realistic stuff. Let me give you all a big secret. Those of you that are watching this, you know, at this point on, long format, those that are still watching, the big secret to that super realist stuff, like I'm talking about really realistic looking painting, is not the proportions. It's not tracing out the proportions. It's not just pixel per pixel copying the photograph. All it is spending the extra time to refine your edges. That's all it is taking the extra time to refine your edges. Someone that's really good at that but still has a really loose touch is an artist named Jeremy Lipking. He was one of the first, one of my first favorite living artists that I knew of when I had first started painting, like realist painting. It's actually not that difficult compared to what I'm showing you here. I would say this is more difficult to get to this stage. Now obviously you'll have your artists that will trace stuff and they will, you know, try to get that perfect geometric proportion, but here's the thing, if you can make something look realistic, it doesn't matter if your painting looks like, your model looks like Jennifer Lopez or Shakira or whatever. That's going to show you just how old I am. But it's still going to look like a realistic person. You could paint Carrie Underwood or you can paint Taylor Swift. It doesn't matter. It's not the likeness part that matters. It's the form. And you get that from highly refined edges. It's really all in the edges. Yeah, that's the problem. Another problem is there's so many great realist artists. It's kind of a mess. And there's almost no shortcut to doing that. There's almost no shortcut to doing that, and so creating a video series with that is going to involve a lot of editing, just like what I'm going to do with this one. But what I want for me is to be able to do it in live streams like what you just saw today. Just like what Bob Ross did with video, with his landscape, I want to do with all subjects in painting. Not just portraits, landscapes, or animal paintings. I want to do that with everything. And it's because I have the experience with painting that I can do that. At least that's what I want to show. I don't know why I'm explaining it though. I really don't know. Yeah, Celeste. Scott Waddell definitely, definitely. He was around when I was first getting started. Here's the thing, though, and it's not going. Not everyone is going to agree with what I think or what I say, but for me, the biggest thing that can be done with art is to make it connect with humanity. And art is subjective, right? So not everyone's going to agree because it's subjective. But for me, biggest the biggest thing is video. But the problem with video is it can be like the movies. Lots of editing, lots of time in between, and it's difficult to connect with people. It's difficult to connect. That's why I like this format, but it's very unpopular. That's why I'm still doing the pre-recorded. It's because I essentially have to. I don't want to turn this into a 15-minute video, but I have to. And don't worry, I'll still keep this video up. I'm not going to delete it or anything. So to be able to do this and to connect with people is, for me, the greatest thing that can be done with art. To connect with humanity. To me, it's more than education. A lot of them don't have the glowing colors of my things. They will, though. I mean, Nelson Shanks. A lot of people have taken classes with Nelson Shanks. A lot of people have taken classes with students of Nelson Shanks. And Henry Henchy. This is a very unique thing to be able to do, to combine realism and color. But Carrie Dunn, if anybody knows who he is, he's from Studio Incaminati. I don't think he's still there currently. I don't know. I haven't seen Carrie in so many years. But Carrie Dunn is a good one to look at. Though he moved into more like modernist looking paintings. Stephen Early, of course, but he does a lot of figurative looking stuff. Like, I don't know, he does a lot of strange looking things these days. Nelson Shanks, his son, is doing some pretty neat, kind of like Norman Rockwell looking paintings. His name is Alexander Shanks. And there goes Lucy calling me. So hold on a second. I'm gonna pause the audio. All right, everybody. I apologize if you heard that conversation. I don't know if I turned the audio off, but nothing harmful was said. It's just Lucy's on her way home, and she wants to go to a art show. but I kind of didn't want to do that. I'm a little bit down, slightly depressed when it comes to going to art shows these days. But yeah, if you heard that conversation, then I'm sorry. I don't know if you did. But anyway, Lucy's on her way, so I'm gonna have to cut off the stream soon. And like I said, don't worry, I'm not gonna delete this video, even though it's not my usual kind of thing. I'm doing this because I'm filming it for the pre-recorded. Oh, I'm glad the thumbnail looks good. I'm surprised YouTube already has a thumbnail for it. That's interesting. Though I'm going to change it. I'm actually going to change the thumbnail so that the face doesn't show. At least at this stage, I'm going to turn it into the early stages. Because I'm going to have the finished face for Saturday. Well, I'm glad you like the full version. I mean, I could actually turn this into a thing, though I want to create the, like a finished painting with each stream, because I know that those tend to do better than continuing a stream. There's the clavicle. A little bit more for the clavicle. But anyway, that's all I got for you for the start of this one. So tomorrow will not be the same 1:30 p.m. because, like I said, I got a doctor's appointment. And then I have to, before that, I have to walk my mother-in-law's dog. As you could imagine, that's going to be kind of painful for my feet. But anyway, in the evening, we may continue with another stream. Either way, I'm not going to disappear for very long because you're going to have another video uploaded on Saturday. So don't worry about it. Couldn't I do both? Like put a link in the full version of the video of the on the shorts so people who want to see the full... Yeah. I can put a link to the full version or the start of this. I'm still going to put in another, I want to say 3 to 4 hours of painting time on this. So it's not finished yet, but yeah, I can do something like that. Oh, thank you, Celeste. I will be as gentle as I can with the walking. And again, thank you so much for the super chat, Celeste. I wish I could say thank you by switching the camera angle, but again, this is all going to be one clip in that pre-recorded video. Yep, have a good night, Janice. Thank you. Alrighty, so thanks for joining, everybody. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you on the next one.